8th of July, 1943. As the Battle of Kursk rages, Tiger Tank Commander Franz Staudiger receives reports of a large enemy armored formation.
Command have just informed me there are 50 to 60 Soviet tanks approaching our line. We need to get moving. T-34s are approaching from the northeast. Proceed in the direction of the railway junction.
Staudiger and his crew are completely alone. But he's so confident in his Tiger tank's unrivaled firepower, it's a gamble he's willing to take.
Enemy sighted! Load armor-piercing shell! Stop! Ausrichten und klammern! Aim and prepare to fire! Fire! Directed! Enemy destroyed! But I think we found the rest of the company. Prepare to fire on the front tank. Fire! Directed. Reload. Aim at the rear. Fire! Incoming round. Raise! Prepare to fire in quick succession. Fire!
Staudiger's Tiger takes out tank after tank.
Fire!
They are, in modern parlance, what's called a force multiplier, because you're getting Tiger tanks that are knocking out 6, 10, 15, 20 T-34s.
Incoming round! Raise!
And the Tiger's thick armor lives up to the hype. Staudiger's tank is hit 67 times, with little damage.
Ammunition low. Prepare to disengage. Sturmmann, get us back to base.
At the end of the day's action, Staudiger's Tiger has knocked out 22 T-34s. He receives the Knight's Cross for his exploits, one of Germany's highest honors. And a few days later, he's ordered off the battlefield to meet Hitler. Six days into the battle, Manstein's army have destroyed hundreds of Russian tanks with few losses. The mood is euphoric.
The might of the German army cannot be thwarted. Our superior armor, troops, and battlefield tactics have beaten through their last defenses. The way to Kursk is open.
Post.
Manstein believes he's on the brink of a famous victory. On the 12th of July 1943, the biggest tank battle on a single battlefield takes place, close to the town of Prokhorovka. The German tanks are again outnumbered, more than 3 to 1.
Hordes of Soviet tanks charge towards the Germans, and it's always seen as kind of both sides knocking 10 bells out of each other, but in actual fact, the Russians are slaughtered. The Germans lose hardly any tanks at all. It is completely one-sided.
Russian losses are horrendous, close to 200 tanks in a single day. The Germans lose just 5. Yet the Russians aren't finished.
Even on this day, when the Germans are knocking out vast numbers of T-34s to the south of Kursk, to the north, the Red Army is launching a massive operation with over 1 million men and 3,500 tanks. For the Germans, it just seems, it doesn't matter how many times they shoot them down, knock down the Red Army, they just keep on coming.
To Hitler, it seems the Russians keep rising from the dead. And worse, he now faces a new threat in the south. In July 1943, British and American forces land in Sicily. There is now a real danger that Hitler's ally, Italy, will be overcome. It forces Hitler to make a complete U-turn in strategy.
Field Marshal, I need to withdraw units from the east. But I have troops standing by to take Kursk. Breaking off the action now
would be throwing away victory.
That is my final decision. You will prepare to withdraw forces from the front line.
Hitler perceives a greater strategic threat to Germany from the south. And when the Allies invade Sicily, that is far closer to Berlin than distant Kursk.
Operation Citadel is cancelled. At Kursk, the Germans have lost almost 57,000 men compared to nearly 178,000 Russian losses. But they still fail in their objective. Field Marshal Manstein is dismissed by Hitler in March 1944. After the war, he's sentenced to 18 years for war crimes, but released after 4. He dies in 1973. Tank ace Franz Staudiger survives the war and becomes an insurance salesman. He dies in 1991 at the age of 68. The Battle of Kursk witnessed total war in devastating action. Despite superior technology, the Germans were overwhelmed by sheer numbers and the Russian will to sacrifice whatever it took to drive them back. Nazi Germany will never again advance on the Eastern Front. It's the beginning of the end for the Third Reich.